Chaos is not your enemy. In fact, it is a signal amplifier. Every disruption, delay, or unexpected shift is testing something far deeper than your patience. It's testing your ability to hold your frequency, your clarity, and your inner signal amidst the storm. If you can maintain alignment in chaos, you are no longer at the mercy of events. You are the observer collapsing probability into presence, even when the world seems unsteady. Take a moment to remember a time when life felt like it was unraveling. Perhaps opportunities slipped through your fingers, relationships grew tense, or your goals felt blocked. Now ask yourself, in those moments, were you reacting to the outer circumstances, or were you anchoring in something unshakable within yourself? Most people react. They become fragmented, lose clarity, and the signal they broadcast into the field becomes noisy, weak, or incoherent. But what if there were a structured way to shift into trust and maintain your signal, no matter what? The first step is understanding that trust is not a passive feeling. It is a measurable energetic state. Quantum physics tells us that observation affects reality. Your attention is the tuning fork of your experience. When your internal state is fractured, your nervous system is in reactive mode, and the field responds with more instability. HeartMath research confirms this. Coherent heart-brain states produce measurable electromagnetic fields that influence perception, decision-making, and even those around you. Trust is coherence in action. Chaos often triggers the fight, flight, or freeze response. Adrenaline surges, thoughts scatter, and clarity diminishes. This is exactly when your signal is most tested. Imagine your inner state as a radio transmitter. When you are aligned, coherent, and anchored, your frequency reaches the universe clearly. When you react from fear or frustration, the signal distorts. The first shift is internal stabilization, breathing, centering, and reconnecting with your inner authority before you act or respond. To illustrate, consider the story of a brilliant physicist whose experiment repeatedly failed. Every external event seemed like chaos, broken equipment, funding delays, and criticism. Yet she noticed something subtle. When she approached the work with centered attention and trust in her process, insights arrived effortlessly, patterns became visible, and solutions materialized. The chaos did not cease. Her internal alignment simply allowed her signal to remain strong, and the universe responded. This is the essence of the first step. Hold your frequency in the storm. The second shift is reframing perception. Chaos is not an obstacle, it is feedback. The universe is constantly responding to your inner state. When events feel disruptive, it is often because your attention is focused on what is wrong, rather than what is being guided toward you. By shifting perception, you begin to see the hidden opportunities, synchronicities, and alignment cues within the chaos. Every disruption contains a seed of insight, but you must perceive it without judgment. Science supports this perspective. Neuroscience shows that the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for higher reasoning and problem-solving, functions optimally when the nervous system is calm and coherent. Reactivity narrows perception, presence expands it. By intentionally reframing chaotic events as signals rather than threats, your system moves from fragmentation into coherence, increasing your ability to read the field, notice patterns, and act from alignment. The third shift is embodied trust through action. Trust is meaningless if it remains theoretical. The field responds to your resonant participation. Small, coherent actions, decisions taken from clarity rather than panic, send your signal outward. These actions do not need to force outcomes. They only need to broadcast alignment with your intention. Think of a lighthouse in a storm. Its light does not control the waves. It signals presence, guidance, and stability. You are that lighthouse. Consider the metaphor of a violin string. Chaos is the tension around you. Trust is the consistent vibration you maintain. The string does not stop vibrating just because the bow moves erratically. When held steady, it produces resonance. Your inner frequency, maintained through breath, attention, and embodied trust, is what guides the outcome. Events shift, but the coherent signal you broadcast influences reality, collapsing potential into presence. Practical application begins with micro-practices. Pause before reacting, take 3 deep, heart-centered breaths, and ask, "Where is my clarity in this moment?" Then observe without attachment. Notice the field's responses, opportunities, ideas, or alignments that may appear. This is the foundation of the first step. Even a 30-second practice repeated throughout the day strengthens your ability to remain coherent amidst external chaos. At this point, you might notice a pattern. Every shift, stabilization, perception, and action is about internal authority over external circumstance. External chaos is inevitable. Life will always throw curveballs, uncertainty, and unpredictability. But your internal state, your frequency, attention, and trust can be maintained, expanded, and amplified. This is the difference between reacting and consciously creating. And if you want to explore these steps more deeply, subscribing ensures you receive continuous guidance on strengthening your signal, maintaining coherence, and navigating chaos with confidence. Each new video will expand your ability to apply these principles in real time, helping you transform life's turbulence into a field of opportunity and alignment. In the next part, we will dive deeper into each of the 3 trust shifts, exploring practical exercises, nervous system hacks, and emotional alignment techniques to make these principles tangible. You'll learn how to maintain clarity, amplify your signal, and begin seeing the patterns within chaos, turning disruption into guidance and uncertainty into creative possibility. Holding your signal through chaos begins with internal stabilization. Step 1 isn't about controlling events. It's about mastering the one thing you can control, your inner state. When the world feels like a storm, your nervous system often mirrors it. Heart rate spikes, breath shortens, thoughts fragment. This scattered state doesn't just affect your mood. It distorts perception, decision-making, and your ability to manifest. The first trust shift is about reclaiming coherence, even in the eye of the storm. A simple but profound tool is heart-centered breathing. Place your hand over your heart. Inhale slowly for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Focus on the subtle rise and fall of the chest. As you breathe, imagine the energy of your heart radiating outward, creating a field of calm and clarity. Studies from HeartMath show that this practice directly stabilizes the autonomic nervous system, balances heart rate variability, and enhances prefrontal cortex activity, the area responsible for rational thought and decision-making. Next, add a mental anchor. Visualize a steady, unshakable light within you, a point of alignment that remains untouched by external turbulence. This anchor is not about denying chaos. It's about maintaining your frequency while the storm unfolds around you. Think of it as a lighthouse in a tempest. The waves crash, the wind howls, but the light remains steady. Your inner frequency, stabilized through breath and focus, is the signal the universe can read, even when everything outside seems unstable. Once your internal state is stabilized, step 2 begins, reframing perception. Chaos is neutral, meaning is assigned by the observer. The same event can be interpreted as catastrophe, opportunity, or guidance, depending on your internal lens. Neuroscience tells us that perception shapes reality. The prefrontal cortex modulates emotional responses, and coherent states expand your ability to notice patterns and possibilities. By intentionally shifting perception, you convert external turbulence into internal clarity. Here's how to do it practically. When a disruptive event arises, pause and ask, "What is this teaching me? What opportunity is hidden here?" Do not rush to react. Instead, observe, reflect, and reframe. Often, what initially seems like chaos carries timely guidance or insight that you could not have accessed in a reactive state. Michael Talbot called this the holographic response of reality. When your consciousness shifts, the patterns around you respond. Combine perception shifts with emotional calibration. Your feelings are the barometer of alignment. Fear, frustration, or panic signal internal dissonance. Curiosity, awe, or calm signal coherence. By noticing your emotional state, you gain a real-time guide for holding your signal. Heart-brain coherence strengthens this calibration. The heart's electromagnetic field interacts with the nervous system and environment, amplifying the resonance of your internal state. The calmer and more coherent your state, the clearer the signal that chaos itself can transmit. Let's make this tangible. Imagine a sudden financial setback. Your initial reaction might be anxiety or frustration. Step back, breathe, and center in the heart. Ask, where is opportunity hidden here? What is life showing me? Perhaps the disruption opens a new avenue, forces a creative pivot, or illuminates a hidden block you've ignored. By stabilizing your inner state first, then reframing perception, you transform potential loss into actionable insight. Another exercise involves micro-pauses throughout the day. When an unexpected message arrives, a delayed call occurs, or a plan shifts, pause for 3 heart-centered breaths. Ask, what does this moment point to? Even 30 seconds of coherent observation resets the nervous system, prevents reactive chaos, and preserves your internal frequency. The universe responds to clarity, not panic. Chaos is not neutralized. Your ability to hold your signal amplifies your influence on the unfolding field. Step 2, reframing perception, also includes noticing hidden patterns. Synchronicities, repeated numbers, uncanny timing, or sudden insights often appear during chaotic periods. These are signals the universe sends to aligned observers, guiding choices and revealing pathways. Most people overlook them, distracted by panic or judgment. By centering, breathing, and expanding attention, you begin to see patterns in the chaos, allowing coherent action rather than reactive scrambling. The combination of Step 1 and Step 2, stabilization plus perception shift, creates a remarkable nervous system effect. Cortisol levels decrease, vagus nerve tone improves, and heart rate variability increases. Physiologically, this state is optimized for clarity, creativity, and resilient decision-making. You are no longer at the mercy of external chaos. Instead, you function as a coherent node within it, capable of broadcasting a clear signal that aligns circumstances with intention. Now, integrate embodied exercises to strengthen these shifts. Start your morning with 5 minutes of heart-centered breath, followed by journaling your intentions and possible challenges for the day. Identify potential disruptions and consciously envision holding your signal through them. During the day, micropauses reinforce stability. Before responding to emails, meetings, or conflict, pause, breathe, and anchor. At night, reflect on moments where you maintained coherence and where you didn't. This cycle creates physiological and energetic training, embedding the trust shifts in body and mind. Practical visualization further amplifies the effect. Picture your inner frequency as a beacon, steady, luminous, and resonant. See external chaos moving around it like waves in an ocean. The waves may be powerful, but the beacon does not dim. This is not fantasy. It is a measurable energetic phenomenon. Your nervous system, heart rhythm, and mental focus literally generate a coherent field that interacts with the surrounding environment, influencing outcomes through alignment rather than force. Step 2 also teaches curiosity over resistance. Every disruption is an invitation to explore, not to fight. By approaching chaos with inquiry instead of fear, your system maintains clarity and signals coherence into the field. Over time, this becomes habitual. You stop reacting automatically and begin participating consciously, shaping life in ways previously unseen. This is the second trust shift in action. Perception and emotional resonance working together to maintain signal through disruption. And if you want to deepen these practices, subscribing ensures you receive advanced exercises for Step 3, embodying trust through action, amplifying your field, and collapsing potential into reality, even during life's most chaotic moments. Step 3 is where observation and alignment translate into real-world influence, creating results without reaction, guidance without struggle. In the next part, we will fully explore Step 3, including techniques to broadcast your coherent signal into the field, respond to chaos with empowered action, and transform uncertainty into opportunity. By the end, you'll have a complete framework to maintain alignment, hold your signal, and manifest purpose even when life feels unpredictable. Step 3 is where everything shifts from theory into tangible impact. You have stabilized your nervous system. You have reframed perception. Now it's time to embody trust through action. Trust is not passive. It is an energetic signal that informs the universe, collapsing potential into presence. It is the difference between reacting to chaos and participating in the orchestration of reality. Imagine a lighthouse in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, waves crash, lightning strikes, yet the light continues to shine. Step 3 is exactly this, acting from coherence without being derailed by external turbulence. Your thoughts, emotions, and attention are aligned, and your actions are guided by that alignment. Even small, intentional movements, a phone call, a conversation, a creative effort, broadcast clarity into the field. These are signals the universe can respond to, amplifying synchronicities, opportunities, and guidance. The first practical exercise is micro-actions in alignment. Begin with small, deliberate steps that reinforce your signal. For instance, if chaos interrupts a work project, pause, breathe, center in your heart, then take the next smallest coherent action, sending that email, finishing a single task, or clarifying your intention. By acting from presence rather than reactivity, you maintain coherence while still moving forward. These micro-actions serve as anchors for your frequency, signaling stability in the field. Next, expand to embodied visualization. Close your eyes and picture your intentions as already realized. Feel the alignment in your body, calm, confident, coherent. Imagine your actions as ripples in a pond, each sending waves of trust and clarity into the environment. Neuroscience shows that mental rehearsal combined with emotional coherence strengthens neural pathways, embedding the capacity to maintain alignment under stress. Essentially, you are training your nervous system to broadcast your signal, even when circumstances are unpredictable. Field amplification is subtle but profound. Your nervous system, heart rhythm, and coherent attention create an electromagnetic field that interacts with the environment. HeartMath research confirms that heart-brain coherence is measurable and can influence both internal physiology and interpersonal dynamics. When you act from this coherent state, your actions resonate far beyond the immediate moment, attracting alignment, synchronizing opportunities, and guiding situations toward your intended outcomes. Now consider chaos as a field of guidance. Events that once felt disruptive are actually opportunities for resonance. A sudden change, an unexpected delay, or a challenging conversation are all signals. This is your test, your invitation, your mirror. By stabilizing, reframing, and acting in alignment, you convert these moments into stepping stones. Every disturbance becomes a chance to strengthen your signal, expand awareness, and participate in life rather than react to it. Step 3 also requires radical detachment from outcomes. You act, you signal, and you engage, but you release attachment to how the universe delivers results. This is the ultimate expression of trust, recognizing that your coherence is the causal force, not frantic striving or control. Detachment does not mean inaction. It means your actions are informed by alignment, not fear or resistance. The field responds to resonance, not desperation. Here's a practical sequence for Step 3. Stabilize with heart-centered breath, observe and reframe perception, take a micro-action aligned with your intention, then release attachment while remaining emotionally coherent. Repeat this throughout the day whenever chaos arises. Over time, your nervous system internalizes this flow, making coherence your default response. What once required conscious effort becomes habitual presence. To illustrate, consider someone navigating a sudden career disruption. Initially, panic dominates. By stabilizing, they center in the heart, breathe, and recognize the chaos as a signal. Next, they reframe perception. The disruption may guide toward a higher aligned opportunity or skill development. Finally, they act in alignment, updating their portfolio, reaching out to contacts, or exploring new paths, all while maintaining emotional coherence. The result? Chaos becomes an accelerant for manifestation, not an obstacle. Step 3 also strengthens intuition, and pattern recognition. By consistently holding your signal and acting from alignment, subtle cues become noticeable. Opportunities that once seemed hidden now appear clearly. Uncanny timing, repeated numbers, or chance encounters begin to align with decisions. Your inner frequency becomes a magnet, broadcasting stability into the environment and inviting synchronicity. You no longer chase results. Results are drawn to your coherent presence. Practical tools to enhance Step 3 include: anchor your signal. Choose a simple phrase, gesture, or breath pattern that reminds you to remain coherent in chaos. Micro-action lists. Identify small, aligned actions to take immediately when disruption arises. Reflection journal. Note moments where coherence held or faltered, reinforcing learning. Visualization ritual. Daily practice of embodied intention, imagining your actions radiating influence into the field. These are not abstract exercises. They are training for your nervous system, heart, and mind, embedding trust as a physiological and energetic state. When practiced consistently, your capacity to navigate chaos expands exponentially. You become a lighthouse, not a leaf in the storm. The identity shift is profound. You move from reactive to resonant, from fearful to anchored, from scattered to coherent. Life itself becomes responsive to your internal state. Chaos no longer dictates your reality, your signal does. Every interaction, decision, and choice is filtered through alignment, creating a field that supports manifestation, clarity, and opportunity. Even subtle reinforcement matters. Before sleep, reflect on moments of alignment during the day. Celebrate coherence, note disruptions, and identify patterns. Gratitude anchors the nervous system, strengthens coherence, and amplifies trust. Each day becomes a practice of holding your signal, reinforcing Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3 simultaneously. Over time, you inhabit a state of resilience that feels effortless yet profoundly powerful. And if this resonates, subscribing ensures you continue receiving advanced practices for maintaining coherence, amplifying your signal, and navigating chaos with trust. Each video provides a deeper dive into energy, perception, and actionable alignment, helping you collapse potential into presence, even in turbulent conditions. To close, remember, the 3-step trust shift is simple but transformative. First, stabilize your internal state. Second, reframe perception to see opportunity in chaos. Third, act from coherence and trust, releasing attachment to outcomes. Master these steps, and chaos no longer fractures you. Instead, it magnifies your signal, sharpens your perception, and aligns reality with your intention. Hold your light. Trust the process. Act with clarity. Chaos becomes not a threat, but a field in which your signal shines brightest. Life responds to coherence, and when you hold your frequency through uncertainty, the universe aligns with your signal in ways previously unimaginable.